Welcome into another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. And for folks that tuned in last week, if they went with us, they had a good week, Jim. You had cross traffic and a nice win in the Whitney. And I had departing at a low price, but then I had a couple of nice payoffs with Lady of 50 out of Del Mar and Acetique at a big number at Saratoga. So we did well. Hopefully we can continue.
One would hope so. That was a very nice Saturday.
We've got 2 stakes races at Saratoga, and the 9th and 10th, so we'll start there. The 9th is the Anti-Mame for 3-year-old fillies at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. And I thought a pretty good betting challenge. How did you see this one?
Yeah, I changed my mind after I looked at it the first time. I really liked Barbie Wire, the Chad Brown horse, because Chad has been just up there. And after I looked at it, I changed, and I went back to Priya, who I picked in the Virginia Oaks a few weeks ago for Kenny McPeak, and she ran away to half a length with a pretty tough trip, and I thought was probably the best horse in that race. There's no kittens dumplings in here, so I think Priya is a good bet, but Barbie Wire may be really, really good, and I would put her behind Priya with Silcita, the class of the race that won the Bourbonette at Turfway last spring, but also took a $100,000 stakes race at Saratoga. So I'm going to take those 3 horses with a very slight edge to Priya.
I thought this was a tough spot. I mean, there are horses that I'm leaving out that I would really like to have. I ended up taking a little bit of a price play here with He Done Me Wrong song. I'm just always a Jonathan Shepard fan. And the horse won its debut at Saratoga last summer, which I like to see, getting a big jock upgrade to Saez. And the last race was her best yet, and she's now 3rd time off a layoff, so she may still have a little improvement left. So I'm going to take a shot with He Done Me Wrong song. And then I'm going to use Barbie Wire, Summer of Fun, and Bella Castini with He Done Me Wrong song. But there's others I'm not using that I'll probably regret. So this is a tough spot. 10th race is the Fourstardave, and this is not a great wide-open betting race. I tried to get past the Fourstardave, a grade 2, 3-year-olds and up at 1 mile on the turf, and I always try to beat big favorites, but I just can't get past Wise Dan. Sensational works and ran big in his only race over the Saratoga turf course. So it's Wise Dan for me. And I'll try Za Approval and Leah underneath him in Exactas. Za Approval being the bigger price of those 2. What about you?
Yeah, I thought Wise Dan, of course, is the highlight of the weekend. I just saw a news release from Naira saying Horse of the Year is at Saratoga, and he's going to be a huge deal, and he's going to be a huge favorite. I think the only horse in here that can possibly beat him is Leah. Leah ran within 2 lengths of him at Firecracker at Churchill, but I don't think Wise Dan was fully cranked for that by any stretch of imagination, and I think he is going to be fully cranked for this one. He's apparently been working up a storm. I'm going to do a cold exacta with Wise Dan over Leah. The only horse that I thought that might get me in the exacta is King Creasa, who's gotten really good over the last few weeks and ran a great race in the poker at Belmont to win that, and is on a two-race winning streak. But I'm going to do Wise Dan over Leah. Leah has a very, very, very slim shot of pulling the huge upset, but I don't think it's going to happen Saturday. And I kind of pull for Wise Dan since he's a hometown horse here from Keeneland.
We've got another big favorite in our next race we want to talk about, which is at Ellis Park. It's their highlight of their meet each year, the Grade 3 Gardenia Stakes for fillies and mares 3 and up at 1 mile. And it's the 8th race on their card. And Groupie Doll, the Breeders' Cup and Eclipse champion, is the big favorite in here. I am going to try to beat her. It's probably not wise, but just can't pick all these odds-on horses. So I'm going to try Awesome Flower from the inside. I just don't see a whole lot of speed in here, so maybe Awesome Flower can get to the rail or get to the lead from the rail and just hope Groupie Doll is a little flat. A mile's a tough challenge. It's a tough distance, and she's hadn't raced since last Thanksgiving weekend. So maybe because of that that could be a small chink in the armor. So I'm going to go Awesome Flower. What about you?
Well, I'm going with Groupie Doll from a hometown standpoint. She's from Frankfurt. I'm from Frankfurt. Buff Bradley, everybody's going to be pulling for Groupie Doll. There's probably going to be 8,000 or 9,000 people at Ellis Park on Saturday. It's going to be a huge day for them. If she's not ready, you can make a case for almost anybody else in the race. I've got note on here, great race for 2nd and 3rd. The horses that I liked other than Groupie Doll were Twice the Lady, who's now under the care of Steve Asmussen, 17 for 23 in the Money Lifetime. Best races were Aqueduct. And those races would threaten Groupie Doll on a bad day for Groupie Doll. Molly Morgan for Dale Romans has had some time off after having a bad race at Gulfstream with a really bad start, but a couple of her races might challenge Groupie Doll. So I think it's a great race to watch. I don't know that it's a great race to bet, but if you can beat Groupie Doll in the pick threes and pick fours, you can make some great money because everybody's going to be singling her.
Let's go to Monmouth Park for the Grade 3 Monmouth Oaks, 3-year-old fillies, mile and a 16th. And while we just had a couple of races where there was a real heavy favorite, this is a more wide-open race. And I ended up going with a horse called Allie Lee, the 8. The last race, even though she didn't finish in the top 3, was her best buyer. And I think she's dropping in class a little bit. Sharp workout for this by Asmussen standards. And she picks up the top jock one of the top jocks on the Monmouth circuit in Trujillo. So I'm going to take Allie Lee here, the 8, and then use her in exactas with Senine Girl, the 7, and the 4, Michaela's Angel. What about you?
I'm taking Senine Girl. I think Senine Girl needed a class relief after facing 50 Shades of Hay and Kitten Dumplings and Apropos and Princess of Silmar. Unlimited budget. All you got to do is look at her races, and it's the best 3-year-old fillies in the country. And she's been running. She hasn't been beating them, but there aren't any of them in this race. So I'm going to take Senine Girl on top. I like Allie Lee also, but I like Lucky Ragdoll simply because she's won 2 in a row at Monmouth, and all 4 of her races. This is only her 5th lifetime start, and they've all been good, all at Monmouth. So she's got a home court advantage. So if Senine Girl doesn't like the Monmouth track first time, I give her a chance to upset, but Senine Girl is probably my best bet of the day.
Last one is Del Mar, the Grade 2 La Jolla handicap for 3-year-olds at a mile and a 16th on the turf. We saw several of these in the Oceanside, one of the divisions of the Oceanside earlier in the meet, in fact, on opening day. And, again, tough races you would expect one of these 3-year-old turf races out of Del Mar. How did you see this one?
This is a nice betting race, and I don't have a strong favorite here. I think you can make a case for a number of horses. The best bet I think I've got in this race is that Ben's Legacy is going to finish second. He's run 14 times. I mean, he's really, for a 3-year-old, he's been very busy. He's run against some of the best horses of his generation, and he's got 6 seconds in 14 lifetime starts. So I think there's a good shot that if you want to key him below a few horses in the exactas and tries, you might have a winning ticket because he always shows up and he always runs a decent race, but he just can't get over the top. Sea Sage is the second race in the United States, and if those time form ratings are correct, he's got a 102 and 108 Racing Post ratings, in France. And, normally if you get triple-digit ratings over there and you come over here in a grade 2, you're very competitive. So I think he's going to be competitive. I think Uno Dos Adios, which is a great race, a great name for a racehorse. And then Freakin' Rocket, which is another great name for a racehorse. And Mike Smith had his choice, looks like, in here, and he took Freakin' Rocket. So I think those horses have a shot. I think Dry Summer's got a shot. I think it's a wide-open race, but I think if I had to pick one, somebody put a gun to my head, I'd say Sea Sage, barely.
I ended up going to Freakin' Rocket. I thought ran pretty well in his first try around 2 turns, so ought to benefit from that. And a couple of really nice works since that run in the Oceanside. So I'm going to take Freakin' Rocket to get it done. And I like Sea Sage, too. Freakin' Rocket, I would key in exactas with Sea Sage, the 6 Rosengold, and the 8 Dice Flavor. But just no real standout here. This is you can get on the right one. I think you'll get a good price here, and there have been a lot of good prices out at that Del Mar meet. So another great weekend of racing. Next weekend, we'll be talking about the Arlington Million and the Alabama at Saratoga. So a big weekend is coming up. But, Jim, anything going on as far as folks coming out for the simulcasting at Keeneland?
Just normal Friday night happy hour prices. Saturday's a great day of racing to come out. And the weather's been so nice out here, it feels like you're at Del Mar.
Yeah.
Nice little breeze, 78 degrees, and sitting in the paddock and running in and grabbing something to drink and having a bet. And it's just a nice time to come to Keeneland. Some people think I should pay them to work here, but it's a beautiful place to come to work. It's a beautiful place to come and watch simulcasting. And we're busy all weekend. And remember, Saratoga runs on Mondays, and that's one of the best times to come out here. Mondays are a great day to watch the races at Saratoga.
Yeah, it's a great way to just go out and hang out with some friends, couples, guys, gals. Outing can be a lot of fun out at Keeneland Simulcasting. And we'll be back here to talk about the Saturday Stakes races next week on the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.